Reverend Cynthia and I share our thoughts and our stories, I wanted to take a couple brief moments to say thank you. Thank you all for being here in person, virtually. Thank you. Thank you. You are what makes this a holy space. And a special thank you to Donna Shan for creating this, making this possible. Thank you.
I am a white, middle-class, cisgender, straight male. What bothers me the most about that sentence is the entire sentence. I don't have to worry or think about any one of those identities in my day-to-day life. The first time I realized that I was white was at a food pantry after college. I was in my 20s before I even consciously thought about the color of my skin. My supervisor was a woman of color. She was a paid staff person, and I was a volunteer intern. And when she told someone that they couldn't have more food, they got upset. She asked me to step in. I said the exact same words. The response was, "Oh, okay." Was the difference that I identify and present as male? Was it the color of my skin? Why do I have more authority than an experienced professional? The first time I really understood the privilege of being male was even later in my life. I was talking with a female friend about using a headlamp when I go out at night or early in the morning for a run. But what do I do about safety? She asked. What do you mean, in case I fall? That's why I have the headlamp, so I don't trip. Oh wait. She meant safety from other people, an issue that never crossed my mind. It didn't need to cross my mind. That bothers me. There are cop shows where a victim of abuse is found hurt in the woods by a runner or a dog walker. I sometimes think about what I would do if I came across someone who was hurt. My friend sometimes thought about what she would do if she was that person who was hurt. This is my identity. These are my privileges. The privilege that I don't have to think about my identity. The privilege that I can read a book or watch a TV show and see people who look like me. The privilege that I feel safe and secure in this culture. The privilege that ongoing discrimination of marginalized people will only benefit me. But I am more than my privileges. For the more I learn about them, the more angry I get. I am a human being, and I refuse to let divisions come between me and other human beings.
I am a white, middle-aged woman. What bothers me most about that sentence is that I am middle-aged. And it bothers me that that's what bothers me the most. I never really had to think about being white, or what being white afforded me. I grew up in an alcoholic home, in a small house, and not a lot of money. Both my parents went to college. My father had a graduate degree. There was no question that I would go to college. My parents got divorced when I was 12. And even though my mother had to work 2 jobs and got mono, even though we used food stamps for a time, even though my mother couldn't save a dime for college, I went, still because my father was a veteran. And I got a graduate degree. I thought it was luck, or God, or both. Now I know a lot of it was, and still is, my white privilege. I could have fallen through the cracks if it had not been for my class and my skin color. But I've known what it means to be a cisgender female, or rather, what it means to be me all my life. To be friends with boys because girls are mean. Until that one boy punched me hard in the stomach to win a fight. To be 8 years old and indignant when the babysitter told me on a hot summer's day that I couldn't take my shirt off, like the young man walking in front of my house. To be 10 and know what shame feels like for the first time I felt ugly in my body. To be 12 and to be told I look like a boy and be hurt by that. To be 13 and know what it was like to have a trusted elder man try to kiss me, force his tongue between my hard-pressed lips, and feel my budding breasts, and no one to tell. To be 18 and so desperate for a guy's attention, it never occurred to me to say no to a hand job, because I was worth more than 5 minutes of his pleasure. To be 22, 25, and have my ass grabbed on the subway. In a crowd, now vigilant, now frightened, now pissed off. To be middle-aged white woman, and own that this is part of what formed me. Angry that this is considered normal, and yet it is nothing compared to friends who have been gang raped and have managed to make a whole life. Despite a justice system that failed them, gay friends ostracized by their parents, their church, their seminary, their country, who still loved Jesus and wanted to serve him anyway, and some that didn't. A black man convicted of a crime he did not commit, still serving 23 years out of 25, married and fathered 2 children while incarcerated, and yet still has faith in God, in his family and friends, and in humanity.
Fear thrives on division. Love dares to understand. Humanity is our tribe. Say it with us. Fear thrives on division. Love dares to understand. Humanity is our tribe. I march because I'm anti-hate. I march because I am he as you are me, and we are all together. I march for all of us who will benefit from a government based on oppression and marginalization. I march because I refuse to let my privilege define me, and I refuse to consciously let my actions oppress others. I march for all of us who will be further pushed to the margins and who fight to be heard. I march because our system rewards bullying, racism, sexism, and ableism. I march because I'm disgusted and angry, and we need to show the world that there are people who care about equality, peace, and justice. I'm marching because voices of peace and justice need to be heard. People promoting love and equality need to be seen. I'm marching because I don't agree with policies or systems that keep people oppressed based on physical characteristics. I'm marching because I have faith that a more just world is possible, and it starts with those who care. I march for the pre-existing condition called humanity.
I march for those who are fearful, angry, and in pain, and I march for those who are hopeful, glad, and curious. I march for climate deniers, as well as climate scientists and polar bears and the Arctic sea ice, for coal miners and pipeline workers, as well as water protectors and wind farmers and solar innovators, and all of us addicted to easy energy. I march because of our self-imposed winner-take-all economy, because we can't serve both God and money, yet we find it all too easy to chuck God. For all of us afraid to lose whatever wealth we've acquired and think we're entitled to, as well as for those who deserve a living wage, safe housing, clean water, and an equal education. I march for parents who can't understand, love, or accept the LGBTQIA child as much as I march for the child. I march for those who suffer from depression and anxiety and other mental health concerns, for quality care and removal of stigma. I march for SPOONies and for the differently abled. I march for the prisoner, the refugee, the outcast. I march for the rights and sovereignty of Native Americans as much as I march for all of us immigrants. I march for the liberation of the oppressor and the oppressed, to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable. I march for agnostics and atheists, for seekers and questioners, for the spiritual and the religious, for the freedom of all to worship or not as they choose. To remember, it's not about what we believe, but how we live. I'm marching for the next 4 years. I'm marching for the next 4 years as much as I'm marching for the previous 8 years. We're just getting warmed up, right? I'm wondering if we would have marched if someone else had been inaugurated yesterday. Because the same problems would still be here. It's likely we would have felt safer, protected. We would have been happy to witness the shattered glass ceiling. We would have felt relieved, as with a narrow brush with disaster. Maybe after the inauguration, we would have returned to our lives and just been disgusted with the news of sexism and obstruction in Washington. Would we have been as fierce and fired up and awake as we are now? Would we have been as ready to go and work for the long haul? Would we have known how deep the wounds in our nation go?
Fear thrives on division. Love dares to understand. Humanity is our tribe. Well, we're not done. I dream of a day when a woman, a Latina, an atheist, a Muslim, a Jew, a lesbian, or even just the most qualified person holds the highest office in our nation.
I dream that one day the color of your skin won't mean people treat you differently.
I dream of a day when everyone recognizes and honors that the sovereignty of a woman's body is hers and no one else's, as well as a child's body and a man's body. Anyone's body is theirs.
I dream that one day what I say won't have more clout just because what I look like.
I dream of a day when every child is wanted, loved, and cared for, educated equally, and finds purpose, meaning, and joy in this world.
I dream that human beings learn to live with a vision of how our actions impact all of life.
I dream of a day when all people, all genders, all colors will be liberated from stereotypes, norms, and assumptions, when none will feel the chains of oppression, nor inflict others with violence and hate.
I dream that gender expression and sexual preference will not change our access to freely love whom we love.
I dream of a day when the earth can breathe freely, when our energy comes to us peacefully and sustainably, our frenetic pace slows to a walk or a gentle roll, and everyone knows the farmer from which their food came.
I dream that we get past oppression, past tokenism, past stereotyping, past pigeonholing.
I dream of a day when power is shared, when authority is found both within us and in community, when freedom is understood within the context of responsibility, when heart and mind and spirit are realized to be inextricably connected, and every living thing is precious and cherished.
I dream that we can get past defining people by one label or another, and that we can get to a place where we can define people both by their common humanity and their unique individuality.
Amen. I dream of a day when we are one people, living on one planet, with one future.
I dream of a world where the inherent worth and dignity of everyone is celebrated, both our unity and our individuality. And I have faith. I have a deep, strong faith which transcends all evidence to the contrary.
I have faith that these dreams can become a reality. I have faith that how we live and how we act makes a difference. I have faith that you and I and he and she and them and us can live and love together, working toward a world transformed by our care. I have faith because we are here and we are in D.C., and the work of peace and justice is just getting started. Say it with us one more time. Fear thrives on division. Love dares to understand. Humanity is our tribe. Humanity is our tribe. Humanity is our tribe. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Robinson and Reverend Webber.